Let's forget work for a bit and drink a little, shall we?
York? Why is she here?
I just thought the more the merrier. You know, to relax and get loose. Is this a problem?
No, of course not. Pardon me, Emily, but I'm pooped. I think I'll just call it a night.
George, I just got here and you're walking out on me? I was hoping the three of us could have a drink and let out a little steam.
I'm afraid I've already had enough. And I already had a good man-to-man with York. So I'll see you guys.
He just wanted a meat fest for the night. And then he'd be satisfied. And what was the need to get all dressed up? Why?
I think George likes you, but he's avoiding you all at the same time.
How astute.
There's a reason?
Nothing worth going into. It's a thing of the past.
Oh, you had a thing together, huh?
Okay. He did ask me out when I first came to town. I was still in high school.
And he was how old?
But I never really considered him my type. And there's the age gap thing, too. I respect him, of course. I wouldn't have taken this job otherwise.
So, did you move to this town alone?
Of course not. I came with my parents.
They were murdered.
Tell me about them then.
They were murdered by the raincoat killer.
Sure, why not? My dad dealt in stocks in New York. He was hardly at home when I was a kid, always working. Those pieces of paper were far more important to him than I was. Which is no different now, really. I don't see much of him. My mother? Totally different story. A wonderful person that I still respect.
That I haven't
She was
murdered.
always kind and understanding. Not only that, but she would always help me find my way. She could be fierce, too, scolding me if I took a wrong step. We had our battles, sure, but all in all, she was a wonderful mother.
Past tense?
Yeah, she's gone now. Cancer, just before I graduated high school. She gave this to me just before she died. I take it with me wherever I go. It's what I treasure most.
I'm sure she's very proud of you.
Alright, are we done with that? We can get on with the show and I can finally take a fucking break. Because I like taking fucking breaks. The worst part about recording long sessions is that the farther it progresses, the less synced the audio and video becomes. Not so much the recording part itself, but between recording the commentary and the game separately. And I don't know what's up with
I
that.
had a good time tonight. Good night.
See you tomorrow.
York.
Yes.
What?
Please, don't lie to us, okay?
I won't. Don't worry. I won't.
Have I? Lied about what? What do you think I'd be lying about? Okay, we can get the fuck out of here now? Where's my car? Don't tell me you ditched my fucking car! Where the fuck is my car? You got rid of my fucking car, didn't you? Y'all really got motherfucking rid of my car. Are you serious? I don't want to drive this piece of shit. Y'all really got rid of my motherfucking car. Are you serious? Actually, I wonder if I can use this.
Zach, is there something?
Let me see. Because I've tried to use this, but I always used it when I was in my car. What's my sweet home? This is where I want to go. What is my sweet home? Is that my new place? So I can use this to fast travel, and I really should have been doing that quite a bit. Although every time I thought to use it, okay, is my car over here, though? They really got rid of my motherfucking car! Oh, there it is. Good. Glad you didn't get fucking rid of it. Well, I don't know if all my unlocked cars will just appear over there. So I could go ahead and buy a bunch of cars and they'd all appear over there. I should do that. Although I think I'm saving up just for one car specifically, so... What's up? Oh, we're just gonna go straight to my room? Alright, what are we gonna put into the file thing? Oh, wow, what time is it? 1:53. Are you serious? It took that long to get through everything? Probably gonna take over 2 hours an entire session. Shit. Then again, I ended up wasting like the first 5 minutes. Yeah, we're gonna do this again.
Olivia told us, and the sketchbook we found at Becky's house, Nick and Diane became our primary suspects. There were a couple of reasons for this. First, Becky gave the missing locket to Diane. Also, Nick has no alibi for when Anna and Becky were killed. We followed Nick to the art gallery, which led us, unfortunately, to our third victim. The third victim, Diane, was strung up in the entrance hall of the art gallery. Her hands were tied and a knife was sticking out of her chest. However, there was a marked difference from the previous crimes.
I don't remember seeing the... I don't remember seeing the knife sticking out of her chest. Multiple bodies, no murder weapon. There wasn't...
No, that's not it, Zach. Think back more carefully. What was different from the other crimes?
Oh, there was no murder weapon, I think.
No, that's not it, Zach. Think back more carefully. What was different from the other crime scenes?
I guess there was right after the crime?
That's right. Diane was still alive. This suggests that very little time had passed since the crime was committed. Which means the criminal was still close by. It was somewhere near the scene.
Kaysen.
There are two possible candidates. Nick, who was knocked out in the entrance, and one other. Zach, who was the other person in the gallery?
Kaysen. He's the prime suspect. He's the murderer.
That's right. Kaysen. We followed Willie, good dog, all the way to him. Kaysen's statement came out as follows. He and Diane were in a physical relationship. That was why he visited the gallery. The two were in the middle of such a meeting when Nick showed up. Diane lost her cool and shut Kaysen up in the basement. Now, what did Kaysen hear when he was locked up?
He heard some boots.
That's it. The sound of boots passing by. Nick was wearing boots that day. Which means it was likely that Diane met with Nick in her room. Nick said he argued verbally with Diane about her playing around with men, but they eventually decided to go out drinking to make up. However, immediately after that, Nick was attacked by someone in the entrance hall and knocked unconscious. We saw the rest. Zach, do you think that Nick is our serial killer?
Maybe. Or Kaysen is. I don't know.
Me too. Usha sent in a report too. He found a large volume of red seeds in Diane's stomach. This confirms her as a victim of the Raincoat Killer. Remaining leads. There's the locket, which is in Carol's possession, the man with the tattooed bat, and the upside-down peace sign. There's a lot left to answer. I hope the coffee will give us more guidance tomorrow.
And I can hope we hurry up and get the fuck out of here.
Zach, what did you think about George pouring his heart out? I was surprised. It's the end of a monarchy. And he called me York instead of Agent Morgan.
I didn't invite a guest over. What is it? You're not even gonna check who it is? Oh.
Emily? What's going on? Do you know what time it is?
I'm sorry. I couldn't sleep, so I was drinking alone.
So you drove here? Intoxicated?
My mother was a very kind woman. She always smiled so brightly, and baked cakes and cookies every day. She'd say that I needed the sugar because I spent so much time thinking. My father was always quiet. We never talked much. He was a federal agent, just like me. And he was hardly ever at home. The only words he ever had for me were harsh ones. I had a vivid imagination, and I remember he once said this to me. There are plenty of crazy things in this world. You don't have to go dreaming them up. And it's my job to make sense out of them. One day you'll understand what I'm saying. I found out later that my father was one of the first to ever use criminal profiling to catch bad guys. And so now I'm doing exactly the same job that he did. Like father, like son.
Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
Mind if it's something personal?
Fire away.
Who's Zach?
Are we gonna break that wall?
Zach is a friend of mine.
An imaginary friend.
Oh, so you do have friends.
Yeah. He's my only friend.
What kind of person is he then?
We're friends?
Well, I've never seen his face. But he's always with me, and we discuss everything.
When did you become friends?
A long time ago. Back when I was a child.
From a traumatizing experience?
I was 7. I woke up one morning to hear my mother crying in the living room. This wasn't normal, so I headed in to see her. My father was there pointing a gun at my mother. I was so scared. I closed my eyes, so I don't remember much more. But I do remember the words my father said to me. At times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist. Even if it means losing someone that you love. When I came back to my senses, they were both dead. He shot my mother and then killed himself.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. Zach's with me. It was around that time that we became friends. I'm here. I'm with you, he said. I'll be here always. We can get through this together. Quite aside from that terrible scene in front of me, that voice seemed to make me calmer. And here we are, working together, getting through things. This is the first time I've ever told anyone about this. I wonder if Zach will get angry.
Can we start smacking shit around?
Sad story. But I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I'm sure there was a reason for what your father did.
Because he was a crazy male?
I know. I think maybe I became an agent to find out why he did what he did.
Oh yeah, York, I forgot to thank you.
Thank me? For what?
You saved my life. If you didn't save me at the gallery, I would have died along with Diane.
No need to thank me for that. I'm pretty useless. I couldn't save Becky. I couldn't save Diane.
What did you just say? Useless? I was never expecting to hear you say that. Huh. There might be a modest guy in you after all.
Finally, you noticed? You're a little slow, aren't you?
Maybe hopeless, but not useless.